Good afternoon, everyone. We're just going to give 1 or 2 more minutes just to give some others that might not yet be here the opportunity to join us, and then we'll get things underway. If you can, particular request for all the pupils, if you can within yourself find it to please keep your cameras on, then that would be greatly appreciated. Just on an occasion like this, particularly with the sentiments involved in this assembly, I think if you can have your cameras on, that'll be really, really great. Okay, we'll get things off to a start. Thank you all very, very much for joining us this afternoon for this Leavers Assembly. It's obviously not the way in which we would have liked to have done our farewell to the Upper 6th in this particular year, but unfortunately the circumstances have resulted in us being left with very little other choice. This assembly provides a pocket of time for reflection and thanksgiving for your years at Bede's, your achievements, your friendships, and with some thoughts towards new futures that will open up for you in the coming months and years. It is a celebration of who you are and a looking forward towards the people who you will become. Although it is certainly not the way I expected to be saying farewell to you all as a year group, and it with a genuine sense of sadness that we are required to do this via distance rather than being in one another's personal company. It is also the marking of an ending of what I hope has been an enjoyable and fulfilling time in all of your lives. I hope most especially that being here in this virtual remote presence might give us a sense of the strength of community and underlie the life associations that we have with Bede's. Life is a rich tapestry, threaded and stitched together by the memories you have of your time to date. Many scenes have been loaded into the slideshow of your minds over the past term or couple of terms. Whether that be your last performance, your last visit to the library, your last fixture, your last lessons, sadly all curtailed by the current pandemic and the added sadness brought by its abrupt end. It wouldn't necessarily be an authentic address by me if I didn't mention Nelson Mandela. And during his inaugural presidential address, he said the following, which is a quote from Maria Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world in any way. And Williamson is right. Don't lead lives of quiet desperation. Don't rack up a litany of regrets. Live extraordinary lives beyond Bede's that will benefit others. Look to do well and make positive differences to your entire community. Don't be self-centered. Be that great generation which asserts its importance gently, and altruistically on those around you. In a quote from Albert Einstein, he said, "Try not to become a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value." Being successful isn't always the hardest thing in the world. It's equal parts luck and hard work. But adding value to something is a lot harder, which is why Albert Einstein's quote is a good reminder if you find yourself blinded by that hunt for success. There's nothing wrong with success, but often it is easy to lose sight of who you are when you're successful. If you keep your eyes on your own values, you'll end up both successful as well as a good person, which is a pretty good combination. In order to make the best of our journey, we need honest guides and moral principles. Otherwise, we will spend a lot more time than we would like stumbling along, making things up for ourselves, or just being lost. It is my sincere hope that the ethos and the teachings received here at Bede via my colleagues, your teachers, your tutors, coaches, have provided you with that guidance, support, and moral compass, along with the values imparted by your parents and your family to have nurtured you into the person that you are today. I hope that all of you, looking back over the past few years, would see a school as having been more than just a place to get good results. What is important in everything, in school and in life, is not what we win at the end, but what happens to us as we go along. The kind of person that you become is, to me, the most important thing. You have come so far, and we celebrate much of that with you this afternoon. But you are not yet the finished article. None of us are. Please remember, what we as parents and teachers want for you is not for you to always be pushing to be winners, but for you to be happy, content, and fulfilled. What we have wanted and will continue to want for you is for you to learn and explore new ideas, to have new experiences and to develop new skills, to have adventures and to build new lives. And we are willing to accept that the lives you build may be very different from our expectations. We want you to make new friends and be influenced by the good examples of different people and different outlooks of life. We want you to think about and make good choices about your future, and we even want you to grow even more independent of us. I know that through all that has been and that is still to come in your lives, your parents and us want you to feel a sense of security and to know that whatever happens, you will be without limits and without conditions.
It is bowled beautifully.
Interesting interruption. In closing, please be sure to take a piece of this school with you. Obviously not literally, but take something away. Over time, you will have absorbed not only information, knowledge, and skills, but also an institution's values, its culture, and its history. Take that experience and use it to make a difference in the world. And finally, I would like to end with this short story. Tucked away in our subconscious is an idyllic vision. And we are traveling by train. Out the windows, we drink in the passing scenes of children waving at a crossing, cattle grazing on a distant hillside, row upon row of corn and wheat, flatlands and valleys, mountains and rolling hillsides, and city skylines. But uppermost in our minds is the final destination. On a certain day, we will pull into that station. Bands will be playing and flags waving. Once we get there, our dreams will come true. And the pieces of our lives will fit together like a completed jigsaw puzzle. Restlessly, we pace the aisles, damning the minutes, waiting for the station. When we reach the station, that will be it, we cry. When I am 18, when I buy a new 450 SL Mercedes-Benz, when I put the last kid through college, when I have paid off the mortgage, when I get that promotion, when I reach retirement, I shall live happily ever after. Sooner or later, we will realize there is no station, no one place to arrive. The true joy of life is the trip. The station itself is only a dream. It constantly outdistances us. Relish the moment is a good motto. It isn't the burdens of today that drive men mad. It is the regrets over yesterday and the fear of tomorrow. Regret and fear are twin thieves who rob us of today. Regret is reality after the facts. So stop pacing the aisles and counting the miles. Instead, climb more mountains, eat more ice cream, go barefoot more often, swim more in rivers, watch more sunsets, laugh more, cry less. Life must be lived as we go along. The station will come soon enough. Good luck to all of you. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. And I'm going to hand over to Mr. Chewson. Mr. Chewson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goodyear. This coming Friday, you should have been getting ready for the Leavers Ball. That you're not is, of course, a great pity, although, as you know, it's very much our hope that we will be running the Leavers Ball in August. So, instead, things ended on Friday. Some of you, I hope most of you, would have been engaged in meaningful work right up until the finish. And as I've said before, I hope you appreciated the chance to keep things going over these weeks, to carry on working, and more importantly, to carry on interacting with your friends and teachers. But I'm sure there must have been a real sense of anticlimax for some of you on Friday night. You would have wanted to celebrate, wanted to be with your friends, wanted to mark the formal passing of your childhood days. And when you anticipated this very important rite of passage, I doubt whether any of you would have had the idea of being at home watching Netflix with your parents at the top of your wish list. But I think finishing at school is often a time of anticlimax, even when things are less complicated than they are at the moment. Nonetheless, not how we would have wanted things to have worked out. But one thing that collectively you have shown yourselves able to appreciate is that, in the words of the poem, into each life some rain must fall. That sense of anticlimax will pass, and that sense of disappointment. And instead, I hope you will be able to think only of the positives of the past weeks and of the years that preceded them. I have to say that we are incredibly proud of you. Proud of your teachers and tutors and your coaches and all the staff with whom you've worked, and your families as well. Proud of them all, but most of all, proud of you. And what of you, our Upper Sixth leaders, as you head off away from Upper Dicker? I started to write a list of particular students to mention, of the great academics, the great sports people, the great leaders, the musicians, the dancers, the dramatists, the artists, and those who are just quite simply brilliant people. We all know, I hope, that what matters the most are the things that cannot be shown on a certificate or enumerated on a spreadsheet. But above all, we must remember always that we are all of value. We are all striving to make our way through the world. And while we will follow different paths and do things in different ways, none of us is better than any other. So I'm not going to pull out individual names, but instead I'm going to recognize that we are always part of a collective. No man is an island entire of itself. Everyone is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. So I'm going to give just 3 pieces of advice. The first of these is to be kind to each other. Mr. Goodyear always invites us all to be kind and be good, and I can think of no better qualities to strive for. Accept each other's shortcomings. Recognize that none of us is perfect, and to expect perfection from others or from yourself will only ever leave you disappointment. Rather, recognize that we are all doing our best, and that the kindness we receive from others makes it that much easier to find whatever our best might be. For my second piece of advice, I implore you all to be not afraid. Good grief, there's so much to be afraid of in the world right now, both for us as individuals and for society as a whole. It would be so easy to take a look at things and conclude that it's all a bit terrifying, but don't. Hard times come and hard times go. We can all just deal with what we have to deal with. If our plans are altered, and if at times we cannot see the path we'll be taking, then that is just the way things are. Different plans, different paths will emerge. A great deal of what we once took for certain has been torn up in recent weeks. It's up to you to begin to start getting things right now, to start setting the world on a new path. And for my final piece of advice, I turn to Louisa May Alcott, who wrote Little Women, in which Jo, the narrator, tells us, "I'm not ambitious for a splendid fortune, but I know by experience how much genuine happiness can be had in a plain little house where the daily bread is earned and some privations give sweetness to the few pleasures." We are all currently undergoing a few privations, and I hope that we are able to really appreciate the things we do have as a consequence, to recognize what it is that matters. It's not the material, it's not things, even if those things may bring us pleasure. Love, friendship, joy. Get priorities right, and the rest takes care of itself. I close by turning to Bob Dylan. In these times, I must admit to have taken a great deal of comfort from Dylan, and I think now of his words to his own children. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. Congratulations to you all. You've made it to the end. Well done and thank you. Carry on being the brilliant people you have shown yourselves to be, and in that regard, stay forever young. It's now my great pleasure to pass you over to Kristen, who joins us, I hope, from Hong Kong.
Thank you, Mr. Tewson. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a great weekend, because I for sure had the most stress-free weekend I ever had in the past 2 years. We have moved on beyond the time of uncertainty and have finally reached the end of our sixth form journey. That being said, I miss school incredibly. I miss being in a boarding house and the many nights I spent in Mrs. O'Hara's office chatting and performing TikTok yoga poses with Angel and Nazia. I miss that human interaction we had with our teachers as they keep chatting away past lesson time. To think that this is all over feels strange to me, but also reluctant to accept. Looking back all these years, it has been both hard and pleasant. Hard because of the nights spent revising for mocks and battling through stacks of work, and pleasant because of lasting friendships and amazing experiences. Behind a lot of these experiences came with an amazing group of people. Mr. Cheshire, Mr. Hennam, Mrs. Sutton, and Mr. Gibbs, our sixth form team for keeping us in check. SMT, Mr. Goodyear, Mr. Tewson, and Ms. Willett for keeping us calm. Mr. Trothamani for arranging our online classroom, our housemasters and housemistresses, teachers and tutors for constantly supporting us, and finally this year group for being so kind. I am honored to be part of this incredible year group, and I am immensely grateful for all that was done in the past few years. Thank you. You guys have been amazing. Apart from missing out on our anticipated end of high school, I never got to properly celebrate our prefect team for the effort they have put in. Thank you to Freddie, Alice, and Ben for being the coolest heads of schools, and the prefect team for being so supportive for the past year. I will never forget the days when we battled the raisin cookies, fighting over ideas, and that heartwarming video I received from all of you during a difficult time of mine. Upper Six, congratulations on making it this far. We now deserve a good few months of rest, and as I for sure will be catching up on sleep. As we head off towards 139 unique paths, remember all the lasting friendships and treasure all the incredible memories you have made. We came to Bede as children and we leave as adults. We gathered as individuals and we part as a family. Stay safe and keep up the optimism for whatever comes after us next. Good luck, and I hope to see you all soon at the Leavers Ball. I will now pass on to Freddie.
Hi guys, good to see you all. We're done, finished, finito, which is pretty cool. And I think first up, we all deserve a collective pat on the back. We've been bloody good, really. We've dealt with the uncertainty, dealt with the pressure, dealt with some of the teachers' terrible gamer headsets, and crossed the finish line, not necessarily with ease, but with positivity and enthusiasm. You know, we've for sure earned our time off, without a doubt. But just because we're moving on to bigger and better things, doesn't mean we can't look back with a little bit of fondness. And at risk of losing all my cool points, although I'm pretty sure I speak for most people, I've missed school these last few weeks. You know, I'm pretty sure we all missed seeing our mates every day. You know, I'm pretty sure we missed chatting with our teachers face to face and having some sort of discernible structure to our day. And I'm pretty certain we've all missed admiring Ed Hans's beautiful chin-strap beard. You know, absence does make the heart grow stronger. That fondness, though, the fact that we do miss it, couldn't have been cultivated without the continued efforts of so many people. All of the sixth form team, Mr. Henham, Mr. Cheshire, Miss Sutton and Mr. Gibbs, the SMT, Mr. Goodyear, Mr. Chewson, Miss Woolett, our heads of houses and tutors, and of course the prefect team, Kristen, Alice and Ben. So a big thank you to all of them for allowing us to be able to look back at, you know, especially the last few weeks, but really the whole of the last 2 years with fondness. And of course, a big old thank you to all of you guys for just being a group of really cool people. Whatever journey we've taken, we've all had a long old 14 years of schooling, taken a lot of different stops along the way and grown into almost fully formed proper adults. And the next few months will be part of that journey. And of course, it's an opportunity to do something productive, but it's also a chance to chill out and do naff all. You know, we've all got action-packed years ahead. So there's absolutely no shame in taking a few months to truly discover how long one person can go without getting out of bed. I know that's what I've got planned. So that's what I've got, really. Stay safe, chill out, and hopefully see you all in August for a proper goodbye. I think I'm handing over to Mr. Henham now.
It's actually Mr. Cheshire. Thanks, Freddie. That's fantastic and very hard to follow. Good afternoon, everybody. A couple of weeks ago, mostly for my own amusement, I emailed all of my colleagues and asked them one simple question. What will you not miss? What will you not miss about the upper sixth when they've gone? Within minutes, I had an spreadsheet crammed with an extraordinary list of all of your weaknesses, your misdemeanors and your moral failings, explained in chillingly clinical detail. And that was all just one email from Mr. Richards. So what follows is a list of what we won't miss about you as contributed by a wide range of teaching staff. There are no individuals named here, but I feel confident that every one of you will recognize yourself somewhere. If you don't, you're either perfect or more likely deluded. These are the things we will not miss. The reasons why you can't work or be in school, such as the freedom to get sushi whenever you need, hot hair tongs on the carpet, and morose faces in the morning when you've been up too late. Your declarations that first years nowadays are so rude and cheeky. We weren't like that when we were first years. Sixth form. The tantrums, the AirPods, prefects complaining about raisins in biscuits, high heels and inappropriate tailored suits to donkey health checking practicals at Drusilla's, supposed future zoologists asking, what's a primate? Or coming out with, how do snakes go to the toilet when they don't have a bum? Outrage at being asked to complete and present prep. I've had so much prep this weekend after a whole weekend of partying in Portsmouth. Constant battles over whose music is better. The dramas.
We also won't miss chasing BTEC assignments that are half completed. 8 pages without a single comma, full stop, never mind a capital letter at the start of a sentence. Your terrible lies. Obviously, you're going to lie. You're teenagers. But some of you need to do some work on making them a lot more convincing. Playing tunes on your nose during physics lessons. Your ability to be on time or even early for your pizza collection, but never for tutor time or a roll call. Your failure to appreciate that you cannot make cheese toasties in a toaster. We definitely won't miss you taking up our parking spaces in your cars, especially when they're a lot more expensive than ours. We won't miss the emails before a BTEC deadline asking for work to be checked at 8:45 when it is due in at 9 o'clock. We won't miss asking for a quick Google Meet at 7:30 to ask a question, which turns into a 45-minute debate about how poor my marking was. We won't miss discussions about Tesco meal deals in every BTEC lesson. We won't miss you complaining about being hot and opening windows when it's 13 degrees outside. We won't miss you asking questions which could be answered with 5 seconds of Googling. And we won't miss your ability to navigate Instagram and TikTok with your eyes closed, but inability to export a Pages file as either a Word document or a PDF.
Some other things that we will absolutely not miss. The moaning about the useless boyfriends, the complete lack of understanding of what the word appropriate means in relation to the length of maybe some people's skirts, and the endless claims that you could learn more from a textbook than you actually could by turning up to one of your lessons. Correcting our mispronunciations of your names. Being reminded that I should have invested in Bitcoin when you advised me to in the first year. The masculine odour of the upper sixth common room and the poltergeist-like furniture moving. The way that Salto's become an enigma to you after the Christmas holidays. Your first world problems. Telling us that the Costa coffee machine has run out of milk or chocolate powder, or has just taken your money but has refused to give you a coffee. When you order a taxi for 30 minutes once the social was finished, and we end up standing outside, freezing cold, waiting for you to leave the school car park, and your interpretation of business casual. We will not miss any of that, but we will miss you. You have been incredible, yes, over the past kind of few weeks where things have been a bit strange, but most importantly, pretty much over the last 2 years, you have been amazing. Thank you all so, so much. It has been a joy to kind of witness how you've all grown up, how you've become different people, and we wish you all of the luck for the future. Go and be brilliant. Now I'm going to pass you on to Miss Willett.
Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. It really is a pleasure to see so many of you on the screen and so many faces that I've missed over these last few weeks. I don't want to just say thank you for the last 2 years. I want to say thank you for the last 5 years. It's very rare that I can look down a class or a year group list and have so many people that I want to thank for everything they've done for the school, not just in being just generally lovely people, but so many of you have represented us in sport, music, dance, drama, community service. You really have been an amazing year group, and we are all so grateful and will miss you all hugely. I do want to say thank you in particular to my RS group. I know it is Mikhail Sereda's 18th birthday today. He's been reminding us for the last 47 months that it's his birthday and he wanted to celebrate it, but I don't think he's even bothered turning up for the assembly. For those of you who know Misha, please do text him and wish him a happy birthday from all of us. So thanks for everything. We are going ahead with the Leavers Ball. We've got over 100 of you coming to the Leavers Ball now. It's going to look like a really amazing evening, and we will be in touch about tables. Please do the awards for me as well. I also have a message from Miss Nairn. She's going to be sending you a questionnaire. I know she's seen some of you in tutor groups, but please do stay in touch with us. Join the Old Bedians group. Make sure you stay in touch with your teachers. We do love to hear how you're getting on, and best of luck for all of those adventures on the way. So thanks for everything, Upper Six. It's been an absolute pleasure. Be safe, be good, and as Mr. Goodyear would always say to you, be kind. Lots of love. Bye.